Ability to score continues for another 45 minutes of football. The only consolation for the team from the Premier Division is that the visitors from Wolves likewise haven't found the net at half-time here at Sellers Park. It's still on as even and goalless. Crystal Palace 0, Wolves 0. After their success in the fourth round replay against Sheffield Wednesday, when they won in the penalty shootout, Wolves would not, one suspect, be too dismayed to take Palace back to a replay at Molineux a week on Wednesday. Dennison had his hand across the shoulders of Damien Matthew. Free kick. Albie Dennison, Northern Ireland international, has been at Wolves since 1987. Shaw with the free kick. Coleman knocks it down. Dowie! Yes! Palace open the scoring from Ian Dowie. Shaw's free kick from just inside halfway, knocked on by Coleman. Dowie swept it in. It's his third goal since his arrival at Palace from Southampton, and it's put Premier Division one up against First Division in this FA Cup quarter-final. They were 2-0 down against Mansfield in the third round, but that was only after 10 minutes. They had plenty of time to come back. Looking for Priest. Appeals for handball. Again, referee just runs away from all the protests. Southgate put it out. Kelly in a hurry to take it. Cowans. Damien Matthew brushed over. Play allowed to continue. Well, the goal stands. Cowans has scored. Gary Willard kept faith with his policy. In the first 3 quarters of the match, he allowed players to tussle. He didn't see an offence. Damien Matthew, who went down. Cowans picked his spot wide of Nigel Martin. It's 1-1, but it's not a goal without a talking point. This is Shaw. Brianlaw. Cowans just hit it into the middle where Coleman was waiting. Good ball out to Priest. The keeper put a hand on it and it'll be a corner. He wasn't sure quite where he was. He'd watched the ball in flight all the way and maybe would have benefited from a shout from one of his defenders. Solarco. It's crowded. Whistle stayed silent. Oh, the keeper's on the floor. Dowie. Well, Wolves might have felt there'd been a foul on the keeper, but there was no whistle. And when the ball was knocked back in, Mike Stowell was way off his line, and Dowie's header just clearing the bar. It's a real crowd that the keeper's trying to come through. He didn't successfully get a fist on it and went down, and he suddenly realises the play is continuing. Just clearing the bar, may have touched the top of it. Cowans. Here's Rankin. Oh, he handled it. He lost the ball then, Mark Rankin, and he handled it on the floor, and that may be a caution. Peter Shirtliff already shown the yellow card for Wolves, and he lost out here and pulled it back with his left hand, and this caution. Looking for the header on by Priest, out by Thompson. Oh, great save by Stowell from Coleman. Palace within inches of securing the victory in the last 2 minutes of the match. In comes the corner. 2 Wolves players jumping for the same ball. Officially 1 minute of the 90 left. And it was a very late goal, remember, that enabled Palace to beat Watford in the 5th round replay. The last couple of minutes of extra time when Undar headed the goal. Over the head of Dyer. Coleman still forward. Eric Young still in there, and there's a flag on the near side. And Wolves have survived. Well, Mick Stowell preferred in goal by Wolves at the moment ahead of Paul Jones, who was certainly the cup hero earlier this season, especially in the first match in the replay against Sheffield Wednesday, saving then point blank from Chris Coleman. Gordon Cowan's equalising goal, looking increasingly as if it's earned Wolves a replay at Molineux, and another great night of cup football. Solarco battling for room to get in the cross, and he does. Dyer was in there, so too was Brian Law. Corner. We're well into stoppage time, and Wolves have got to hang on just a bit longer. Eric Young, wonderful save. Somehow Stowell got airborne and just clawed it away with the right hand. He won it well, there was pace on it. Andy Thompson will lift it as far as he can into the penalty area. Kelly looks for the back flick. Here's Rankin. The whistle's gone. It's 1-1. Graham Taylor's Wolves continue to live dangerously in the FA Cup. But you can't argue that the team from Division 1 deserved their draw and deserved their replay. And Palace will have to try and do what Sheffield Wednesday couldn't do at Molineux, and that's win in the replay. Final score here is Palace 1, Wolves 1.
2-0 down against Mansfield, you came back to win. A last-minute penalty save against Sheffield Wednesday, and then 3-0 down in the penalty shootout in the replay against Sheffield Wednesday, and you won that as well. You keep coming back from the jaws of death.
Well, Mickey Stowell saved us, didn't he, in the last minute as well, with a great save from, I think it was Eric Young's header. But that's of credit to them, you know, they're hanging on. We're learning about that. I mean, it's my first year at the club, and I think just generally now we're learning about having to dig results out and hang on in there and believe in ourselves, and this will do them no harm whatsoever.
What's your interpretation of the goal? Because one or two Palace supporters might have felt that you actually pushed Damien Matthew over.
Well, to be honest with him, I might have nudged him in the back. I mean, I was closing him down from behind, trying to get a toe on the ball, trying to poke it through to somebody. In the end, when he went over, I wasn't sure the ref was going to blow a what. Ended up the first shot for a long time.
Were you surprised that the referee didn't blow for a foul?
A little bit, yeah. But at the end of the day, you play till the whistle goes, don't you?
For the replay, hopefully, you'll have Chris Armstrong back.
Well, I'm hoping he's going to be back next week. I don't want to wait another fortnight. It's been bad enough sort of having this unknown period out, so the sooner he can get back. I really need him back for the league games. The Cup's a bonus for us. It's a nice bonus, but at the end of the day, we want to stay in the Premier League, and I need Armstrong back for this week.
Let's look back at one or two aspects of that game. First, a couple of penalties that might have been, should have been, were.
Should have been, were, yeah, but not given. The first one, Coleman plays it into the box. Now Brian Law goes up here, he jumps too early, hand comes out, it's a bit of a panic attack, and for me he's definitely handled that. He's very lucky to get away with it. And this one, Steve Bull gets to the ball first. It's Richard Shaw comes in, no contact at all with the ball. And for me, again, a definite penalty kick.
Now Cowans was pretty honest about his goal there. We'll look at that in a moment, but take a look at the other goal first for us.
Yeah, it was a long ball forward, and I've actually circled the players at the far end there, Ian Dowie and Shirtliff who's marking. Now Dowie goes one way and you'll see Shirtliff go the other. So Dowie's created the space for himself, but Shirtliff's really ball watch, got involved with a lot of players that he didn't really need to get involved with, and Dowie's got his space. And the number 5 that was also circled doesn't know what to do, that's Brian Law, and it's too late, it's in the back of the net. Now here, I mean, Gordon I think knows what he's done. He's got his arms all over him there, he's tripped him over. But it's a great finish, beautifully bent round Nigel Martin. And we'll see it from this angle, you can see he's got his arms on his arms there, and the referee's probably, the problem is the ref's too far away from the incident, I think. But Gordon's happy. So, and it's back to Molyneux.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, was there?
Well, the referee didn't blow. He takes the shot and scores.
GBH, I think was there.
Thank you very
You're
much.
always having a go at referees, yeah.
Always did.
Are you there? Sorry, I was just going to tell everybody about our live match tomorrow, which of course is Everton against Newcastle. We've got the semi-final draw as well, and we'll also have the goals from the Manchester United QPR tie, and a special programme for you on Monday night. Herbie Hyde defending his WBO heavyweight championship for the first time against the former undisputed champion Riddick Bowe. We've got that for you 10:10 on Monday night. We haven't finished here though, because it's now the Premiership. Blackburn's lead at start of play, 3 points, 3 more away to Coventry this afternoon. Would do very nicely in the chase for the title. Our man at this game, Gerald Sinstad.
Burrow's shot is on target. Oh, Shearer pulling away and got the header in despite 2 defenders close to him, Burrows and Rennie. Over Hendry's head, and real danger here. Pearce held it up, Dublin came in behind. Over Hendry's head, Dublin, look, is now nearly 10 yards behind the play. But then when Pearce struggles, Dublin comes in and agonisingly just inside the post. Corner to be taken by Ripley. Hendry had come to the near post as a decoy. Oh, Shearer's shot, and I think it came off the goalkeeper. Shearer really got a big whack to that. Fell nicely at his feet, and it was one of the defenders on the line who got it away. Oh, messing about on the edge of their area again. And Flowers has got it. Atkins going in onto the line as the corner is swung out wide. And the header, I think, from Pearce. And on the break, Peter Unlove for Coventry. In the middle, Marsh and Dublin. Shot from Unlove, and it was 5 yards wide. Ripley. Plenty in there. Hendry with the glancing header. And a great drive, virtually the first touch, in fact it was the first touch for Slater. Knocked down now, Ripley! Beautifully cushioned by Shearer's head. Top surface notably more slippery now, but here's Slater away. Ripley inside him, Slater going for another shot, saved and knocked out for a corner. Sherwood, Lasser. The pattern repeats and repeats. Gould comes. The referee has given the goal. Shearer really did wonder if there wasn't a hand that went up there too. Difficult to say. Shearer jumping, goalkeeper there, goalkeeper's fist didn't make contact, and Burrows could only follow it into the net. 2.5 minutes left, and they'll come looking for 3. Shearer again. He was not far wide, it was turned aside, it's a corner. Shearer. Really good strike.